Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cat Talk here on GreenCountyHeraldOnline.com. I'm Russell Turner. This is my good friend Nick Chatham, the AD here at Greene County High School, and we're back for another episode. Nick, had a little cold snap in there last couple of days, but I hate to be corny, but things are really heating up here at the high school. We got, of course, your baseball team has advanced to the next round. Softball has advanced to the next round. So we got a lot to talk about there. I think you've got some guests planned for us today.
Yes, going to have Taylor Brewer on of the softball team. She's, kind of the heart and soul on the mound for those guys. So she's going to be an interesting conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. And like you mentioned, they're getting hot at the right time, and we're excited about them and what they're doing.
Yeah, it's fantastic this time of year, and with both teams having the success that we're having, it just makes for a fun time. But before we get to that, I want to talk about this right now. Our golfing wonder over from McLean, Miss Addison Pulliam. If y'all don't know the story on Addison, Addison's a 7th grader at McLean Attendance Center, and she kind of helped start a golf team here at Greene County High School this year, her and a few other girls, and we had a few guys involved. But Addison won the District 8 tournament a couple of weeks ago for 3A and 4A. I think they call that Class 2 in Mississippi. But 3A and 4A, she won the District 8 tournament, and she had a top 5 finish just yesterday in the state tournament up in Grenada.
Yep, and that's pretty big, in the state. That's every golfer in the state. So that's a great accomplishment.
Sure, and 3A and 4A, you're talking about dozens and dozens of kids. Don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but she competed extremely well. I think was one stroke away from a top 4 finish, and the only people who were ahead of her were seniors. And I think one 9th grader from some other school was right there tied with her.
I was going to say, let me remind you what you said to begin with. She's a 7th grader.
She is a 7th grader.
Looking for big things for her.
For absolutely some big things.
And the other 2 girls as well. I mean, they stuck it out. Really had never played much golf and just wanted to try it. And they've stuck it out, and spoke with both of them earlier, and they're excited about getting better this summer. So good things coming for our golf program for sure.
Now, Addison's mom, Jennifer Pulliam, who is the principal at McLean Attendance Center, agreed to help coach the team and manage the team, and so that was a big commitment on her part. And Nick took care of the boys' side, and
somewhat.
And I do think I know Miss Pulliam has told me that there's already a lot of interest that she's hearing from girls who want to get involved. So good job in creating a new sport for kids to get involved with out here.
Well, actually, we've hired a coach for the girls and the boys for next year. Coach Robert Roper from over at McLean. He's a football coach. And, the school board voted to even give a supplement for that. So
fantastic.
It's getting off the ground and running, so we're good with that.
Fantastic. Well, that's really all the information we know on Addison, but congratulations, Addison. We're very proud of you. I don't know if you guys a couple of weeks ago saw when we first talked about the golf team, but an extremely, extremely impressive young lady, and we're expecting a lot out of her, both on the golf course and I'm sure she's plays other sports and also in the classroom.
And we need to give Miss Pulliam over at McLean a lot of credit.
Oh, absolutely.
Her daughter was involved in a sport, and she saw the need to get it started here and spearheaded it. So
took the initiative.
We're thankful for that.
Yeah, without a supplement.
That's right.
So, but big deal there. And if you see her out on the street, make sure you talk to her. We got a little story on her in the Greene County Herald this week in the print edition. So pick it up and read it. It's interesting, but once again, very fascinating young woman, and expecting a lot out of her. But if that's all for now, we'll be back in a few minutes, and Nick and I will talk a little bit about baseball, and then we'll have Taylor on to talk about softball. So stay with us. The mission of Greene County Farm Bureau is to provide you with unmatched customer service and attention. If you're looking for home, auto, or life insurance, you should definitely give Jared Lott or Tyler Bray a call to learn more about the full line of insurance and financial services they have available. It's easy to find out if you're getting the type of coverage you need at the best possible rates. Just drop by and see Jared or Tyler at 812 Main Street in Leakesville, or give them a call at 601-394-2801.
All right, folks, welcome back to Cat Talk. As you can see, we're joined here by 3 of our senior baseball players, actually, and they're moving on to the second round of the playoffs. We thought we would call them in and talk to them a little bit. Keaton, we'll start with you. Tell us about round 1. How'd you feel about that?
Round one was pretty cool. It was a great experience. Getting to be a part of going to the playoffs again. It's just a really good experience.
And you came up with some big plays too. I can't remember how many total runs you scored in the series, but it was you had your hands full. But yeah, it was a good experience. And let's see, y'all. Just to recap, if folks don't know, y'all won game one here.
7-1, yeah.
Yeah, went over to Poplarville and they held home court and took that game. Then we came back here Monday night. Big crowd, great atmosphere, and y'all got that one. And now we're moving on to taking care of Quitman this weekend. So. Yeah.
Well, speaking of home field, you know, the crowds were amazing this week. Just so good to look up and see those guys. Parker, tell us a little bit about what it means to you to play in front of your home crowd and to see the stands full.
It's great, just this experience. A lot of people, all the stands are full, the decks are full, everybody's cooking back there. You just feel like you're at home playing. Like backyard baseball back there, it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like fun, and I got the opportunity. I went all the way around the park. I was behind home plate, up in the stands, came out on the decks, and tried to get the full experience. And it just kind of makes the hair stand up on the back
it
of your neck
does,
a little
you know.
bit. So
I look around just to think you've got 400 people that are rooting for you. That's good. That's comforting to know.
right.
And the opposing team, I can't imagine looking around and seeing I've got 400 people rooting against me tonight. So
Well, I think it clearly makes a difference because the other teams, you can tell the difference in performance home and away.
yeah.
And you guys do travel well. You always have a good crowd going, but it's different here at home.
It is, and I was talking with my wife last night. Our guys feed off the energy of the crowd.
Right.
For instance, Saturdays, we've always struggled with energy on Saturdays, and part of that is you look up in the stands sometimes and there's 15 people, and it's just hard to, we match their energy, to be honest with you. So they're a big part of what we've been able to accomplish.
Right. Well, what do y'all know about Quitman? Ian, I know you've got the scouting report down to a T. What are y'all expecting out of those guys this week?
Well, we heard that they're pretty decent, but we feel like we got a pretty good chance against them, and hopefully we'll just head over there and get at it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, I think that's the approach that y'all have always taken. Just kind of, it don't really matter who it is, just suit up against them. And tell me, Ian, too, what does it throughout the year, because y'all play a rugged schedule, not only in region but pre-region play. What does that, coaches talk about it all the time, but as a player, what does that do in terms of preparing you for region play in those bigger schools?
Well, one thing we just got to get ready for it, and just I don't know.
Just dig in and play hard against them, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's why I figured it. But anyway, what else, Nick? What we got to talk about?
Well, Quitman's going to be a really good team. I was kind of doing some research on them. They were 4-14 or something last year. Hired a new coach, and now they're 17-11 this year. So there's a lot of new energy around their program, and that's I think that's the main thing we're going to have to deal with is they are, on cloud nine. They've got a lot of support, but so do we. And
Right.
I think we have the advantage of just the fact that we've experienced playoffs, we've experienced big games. You talked about the schedule. We play in those games all the time. They're going to bunt and they're going to try to manufacture runs. So we're going to be prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, I think, and Parker, you can talk to this a little bit, but, you guys don't seem to ever feel like you're out of a game. You're 2, 3, even 4 runs down late in the game. There never seems to be a lot of panic on y'all's side. And tell me about y'all's approach to that.
We just go out there and have fun and just try to get back in the game. Like we're playing any other team. No matter if we're playing a good team or a bad team, we just go out there and swing.
Yeah.
Try to get back in the game.
And it works out. I mean, you see a lot of that this year, not only in high school ball, but particularly in collegiate ball, where games are have these 7th and 9th inning comebacks where people have 2 outs and still find a way to win it.
Speaking of games, I really didn't want to bring this up, but the school down the road south of us, George County,
Right. Yeah.
they were in a game 3 last night with Wayne County. Wayne County was up 6-2 in the 7th, and George County won the game 14-6.
Wow.
So that was did any of y'all go?
I went to
Park, did you stay the whole time?
It was a good game. We was going to leave it at the bottom, but we ended up staying, and George County pulled it off.
Well, good for them. I can't say that I necessarily root for any other school, but I don't necessarily root against any either. And
Right.
I know that those guys are all in too. And this time of year, somebody's going to get their heart broke.
Right.
It's either going to be you or the other guys, and so that's just part of it. But I'm excited for y'all, and I know this being your senior season, y'all have all played for a long time. You got this big senior group. I've gone through that recently with my daughter, seeing how that works out. How are y'all going to feel when this is finally said and done? Y'all been playing together for a long time.
Keto?
I'll probably feel pretty sad just cause being so close all these 6 years playing with the same guys. We grew up playing ball together throughout Little League. Just growing up and progressing and getting better every year, seeing how everybody grows, seeing how good everybody gets, and just being a part of a friendship that baseball season holds.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. One of my favorite times of the year is baseball season, just to go hang out with the boys, just have a fun time with them. It's gonna be pretty sad when it's all over.
Kind of like family in a way. You spend so much time together, and you argue and you fuss and you fight and you have ups and downs together. So yeah, it's but that's part of it. That's part of moving on.
And you know what? We talk about the playoffs a lot, but at the end of the day, only one team wins the state championship. Right. And I just feel like I want our guys to realize they've already accomplished a great deal and win the division. And I think most wins at this school since about 20 years. So, I mean, those are big accomplishments.
Absolutely.
One more win, and we're at the 20-win mark. So, it's already been a successful season. Of course, we want to continue to move on, but we're not going to hang our heads. No matter what happens, we've had a great year.
Well, hopefully, as you well know, you'll catch the breaks and you'll play well, because it takes all of that.
That's
and,
right.
It's not always the team with the most talented roster. They got to catch some breaks along the way, and so good luck to you fellas. I certainly enjoy watching y'all play, and I wish y'all the best. So tell us the schedule real quick.
Schedule 6:30 across the board. We play Friday here. Saturday we'll be at Quitman 6:30, and then Monday, if needed, we'll be back here at 6:30. So it's going to be a great experience, great time of just playoff baseball. There's nothing like it.
Good deal. Anything you guys want to say to wrap it up?
Get her done.
Good deal. Hey, folks, we'll be back in just a second. We're going to have Taylor Brewer on to talk about softball, because they're having just a little bit of success themselves. So stay with us. If you've suffered an injury and are seeking justice for that injury, you don't have to leave town to find a personal injury lawyer. You need to call Joe Beard with Beard & Stewart's Attorneys at Law. Hometown lawyers helping hometown folks. Give Joe a call at 601-394-5900. And remember, go Cats, go! All right, folks, we're back here with junior pitcher Taylor Brewer from the Greene County softball team. And Taylor is having an exceptional season, and so is her team. They just swept Raymond. In fact, you had well, we'll get to that in a minute, but they just swept Raymond in the first round series, and they've got another series coming up this weekend with Sumrall. But congratulations, first off, on the team success. But how are things going?
It's going pretty well, I say. We played Raymond last week and came in, we didn't know what to expect. And we actually came in, they had no runs scored, nobody get on base. I threw a no-hitter. The hits were exceptional. They did a really great job, and then came back Saturday and did the same thing.
Yeah. She's being a little modest. She did throw a no-hitter, but she actually threw a perfect game, perfect 5 innings, and had a perfect series, because when Addie, 7th grader Addie Tunga came in, she closed them out with 3 straight outs. So Raymond did not have a base runner for the entire series, and that's just incredible. Yep. Meanwhile, the Lady Wildcats put up 34 runs in 2 games, and you had some big hits in that as well.
Yeah, sure. I had a couple in the mix.
Yeah.
Well, last year y'all made it to the second round of the playoffs, which was the first time making the playoffs in a lot of years. So this year, going to the second round again, I would say that's a huge success for the softball program. But do you feel like the experience last year of the playoffs is going to pay off this year for you guys?
Definitely, because last year we play Sumrall next week, as y'all know. We actually played them. They were in our district last year, and we got district champs last year. So this isn't a new team to us. It's kind of a little bit of a fight back to see who got better over the season. So we're real excited for that, and I think some of the energy came over to this season.
No doubt about it. And I think last year, it being the first time, There was a lot of emphasis put on it. There was a lot of kind of noise around
Right.
the girls making it, which they well deserved, but it could have been a distraction as well. And I think now that we're in the second round, it's just that's what we're supposed to do. You know, that's what we're used to doing. So I think it's going to be a good series for sure.
Well, Taylor's used to just, churning out innings all the time. But it's kind of interesting. I think one thing, and Coach Barham and I talked about it, last year you guys were district champions, region champions, so you had to wait a week.
Yep,
and so,
tough.
I don't know that helps you. You guys are playing, you get to stay hot, so hopefully that'll roll over. Meanwhile, Sumrall's been at the house, waiting. And so I think that will play a little bit into it. But tell me a little bit about your season, because I think over the last 3 or 4 weeks you've really found yourself in the circle. Seems like your velocity is kind of picked up a little bit, a little more movement on the ball.
Yes,
What changed?
I think just seeing that we're getting closer and closer to playoffs, and it kind of actually hitting me that we're actually getting closer and it's paying off. So I think that fire to want to go further than what we did last year is kind of what's driving me this season.
Well, I picked it up a few weeks ago, just watching you. For lack of a better expression, you say this all the time. She wanted the ball. You know what I'm saying? It was like, give me the ball, let me go, and let's go win this game. And I love to see players play with that kind of bulldog mentality. And you always want your infielders wanting the ball hit to them. So and I think y'all are playing really good defense now. 34 runs is pretty decent run support.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think so in 2 games.
Yeah.
We talked about with the baseball guys the importance of the crowd, but tell us to you what it's like to play in front of a big home crowd.
Well, a big home crowd, just seeing everybody out there and seeing everybody cheering you on. A lot of people know our name by the end of the season. So you hear 16, 18 talking about everybody and all the upperclassmen, younger classmen. Honestly, it doesn't even matter now how old you are. We've got 7th, 8th, from 7th and 8th graders playing all the way up to senior on our varsity lineup. So, I mean, the crowd helps a lot, but whenever you get Keaton, I can barely even hear him. You might hear my mom every now and then. And then we've got Grandpa, GC Knight, her grandpa's out there, and all the time he's behind home. Let's go 16!
I hear him every
Hands
time.
up! He's a big energy in himself, so.
Well, and I pick up on, like we were talking about that with the guys earlier, because I go to both parks. Nick hasn't had as many opportunities to come down and watch y'all play, and vice versa. Y'all are usually playing at the same times, but just the energy at the ballparks is fantastic, and I see it. I see the girls feed off of it. But you mentioned about being young. This team has 2 seniors, and you're in a little different situation on your end. I know you got a lot of young talent coming up, but they're just going to basically retool next year, and now they've got 2 years in a row that they've made the playoffs. So, good for you. I think it's exceptional. I'm proud for you personally.
Thank you.
What are you wanting to do next? I know next year you'll be a senior and you'll be looking toward your future. Have you got any ideas?
I'm actually verbally committed to Holmes Community College,
Gotcha.
and I think I'm going to go there and get some basics, and then I want to be a math teacher
Oh, fantastic.
for high school. So maybe I'll end back up here.
All
after
right.
all.
Do you want to coach or just?
I do want to coach.
Good
I
for
want to
you.
go and do like 10th and 11th grade math, and then I want to do softball coaching and lessons on the side.
Well, fantastic. Well, I hope one day you end up back here.
And she also placed in Distinguished Young Women this year. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
that was a big accomplishment as well. So well-rounded young lady.
What was your talent? You sang, right?
I sang. He was actually a big part of that. I was up and I sung at church quite often, practicing. They opened it up and allowed me to go there and practice, which was a big help because I've never sang in a microphone like that. And he was like, "Why don't you just come up here and sing some?" And then I practiced my song there and actually ended up singing the song that I sung in DYW at church. So, I mean,
So what she's saying is I helped her with her singing, which is probably why she didn't win the whole thing.
Well, just give us a little. No, I'm just playing. I won't put you on the spot like that. But anyway, you do have rain. I know you got Sumrall this week. You're right. There's a lot of familiarity between the programs. It is a little bit of a rivalry already, I think. Kind of right there with the way it was with Purvis for a few years. But I'm excited for y'all. Wish you the best of luck. Now, they travel first. You guys will go to Sumrall on Friday, be back here Saturday for a 2:30 game, correct?
That's what it was this past week.
That's the way I
He
understand
hasn't released times just yet.
I think it'll be an afternoon game, and then if needed, if they don't take care of business in the first 2 games, if needed, game 3's on Monday back at Sumrall. So once again, a lot to see this weekend out here at Greene County High School. So if you get a chance, come on out and support the Lady Wildcats and the Wildcats. Anything you want to depart with?
Go Cats.
Good deal. All right, folks. Nick and I'll be back in just a second to wrap things up. Stay with us.
Here's a scenario. Work has sent you cross-country. You drive 2,000 miles, eat something that resembles food, and seal the deal with a room full of strangers. Now you have a big old check, which means you hold in your hands the future of your company. But wait, you have the Singing River Federal app, which means you and thousands of others like you can bank wherever you are. So no more worries, except for whatever you ate. Singing River Federal, the better way to bank, wherever you are.
Welcome back, folks. As promised, had some good interviews today. Just excited about what's going on here around campus. Just the playoffs, there's nothing like it, Russell. And I know you've experienced it before as a dad and then as a reporter. And it's just an extra bit of energy in any sport when you've got the playoffs going on.
You're suggesting that I never experienced that in high school, which is true. But
we weren't going to go back that far anyway.
That's fine. But yeah, we did. We had some great interviews today, and you guys be easy on the baseball guys. We kind of pulled them out of the hallway. They weren't expecting it. We had hoped to have Coach Barham on today too. We had an interview with him the other day, and some of my typical technical problems nixed that. But Coach Barham's doing a great job with them this year, and I'm excited for the direction they're
as well as Braden Brewer. We had him on last week, and it just
dadgummit.
It didn't work out. And as Russell said, we have producer issues, and he's the producer, so we're taking applications for that.
Well, seriously though, let's talk about Braden for a minute, because he had a big game for y'all on Monday night.
Man, Braden Brewer is everything you could want in a baseball player. I mean, he's consistent in his attitude and work ethic. I would venture to say, Coach Bray and I have had this conversation, possibly the best shortstop to ever come through this high school.
That's saying something.
I mean, he makes plays. He's a gamer, great instincts. Just loves the game. I mean, he's a great guy. And
it doesn't seem to matter who you put at second base with him. Mm-hmm. They gel, mm-hmm. and that speaks a lot to him. Yep. And then, like the other night, he drives in 2 big runs, gives you 3 innings of relief, mm-hmm. Didn't allow a run. So, as you've talked about, this time of year, you're playing good teams, mm-hmm. and it's a best-of-3 series. And a lot of times, just like you said with George County and Wayne County, you end up in game 3.
Right.
And so, you always have this opportunity for somebody else to have to step up. And I think Garrett Bunky Henderson threw well for you the other night. Came in a big situation and put you in a position to win.
Right.
And then just some big hits. Big Phil Herring with the bomb, mm-hmm. and so y'all got it rolling. Softball has it rolling. I think their situation is going to be a little bit different. You got a little more tested this past weekend, mm-hmm. which should help moving forward. Mm-hmm. They may have to overcome a little bit of not being tested.
Right.
But I think they're in a good mindset. I think they're ready for the challenge.
But they finished their regular season with some good tests.
Oh, absolutely.
Hopefully that'll. And going back to Braden Brewer, you mentioned him on the mound. He's been huge for us all year on the mound. He's the kind of guy that can come in for 2 or 3 innings and just give you everything he's got.
Right.
And he's going to be pivotal going forward for us on the mound too.
Well, I do think that's the kind of player he is. It doesn't matter what he's doing; he's going to give you 110%. Mm-hmm. But you've also got players like Keaton and Cam Dunham,
yep.
who are seniors who aren't everyday starters, but play huge roles in your team, and both of them have scored a ton of runs and big runs that mm-hmm. give you momentum, and so they've done a great job. You certainly can't. I mean, I love to see those guys getting a chance to contribute.
Well, I mean, to have a base runner that you can go to and trust, people don't realize just because you're fast, you can't just throw somebody out there. And I would venture to say we use pinch runners more than probably anybody I've been around.
Right.
Just if we get an opportunity to throw a guy in there that's faster than the guy on second, then we're going to do that. So But those guys, you're right, have been huge. The fact that I can trust them to send them out there. Cam Dunham, I mean, what he does on the bases is amazing for us. It really is. And Keaton as well. So.
Well, and real quickly too on the softball girls, Charlie Stewart and Charlie Meadows, the two seniors down there, have really gotten hot right here toward the end of the season. And Charlie Stewart's one of those girls that, like Braden, can help you in different situations, and she can come into the circle and give you some innings. She can swing the bat well. She can play first base. But Taylor, man, she's just lights out right now.
And like you said, she has seemed to get stronger as the year goes along, so that's a good thing.
I mean, she honestly, when you just watch her mannerisms right now, just give me the ball, coach. Just give me the ball. I want to go throw, and that's, you'd love to have 9 of those every time you go out there.
It's gonna be exciting this weekend.
It's gonna be exciting this weekend. Like I say, I hate to keep belaboring the point, but there's a lot to be involved with out here at Greene County High School this week. I'm unfortunately going to be on the road this weekend myself, so I'll be rooting for y'all and following you on Game Changer. But I will be back Saturday, hopefully, and
Go ahead.
No, really.
You might can tell me this, but when's the last time the softball and baseball team were in the second round of the playoffs together?
That hadn't happened.
Probably has never happened. So that's excitement right there to have 2 programs in the second round.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that it's not happened. So anyway, Nick and I could sit here and ramble all day. I know you folks have other things to do. So we appreciate y'all being with us this week. Get out and support the Wildcats this week. You will not regret it. It's a fun time. If you don't know anything about baseball or softball, I guarantee you come out to the ballpark, you'll have a blast. So come on out. Good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.
Y'all have a great weekend, a safe weekend, and take care.